And now you can see the Backseat Mogul Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours and happy hour, Fridays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information.
Showbiz is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. There's also a bad side.
This is the Backseat Mogul Show live here on Rough Edge FM. I am R. Scott Bolton. I am the Backseat Mogul, and this is the show where we talk about show business. Sitting straight across from me, none other than Johnny D, fresh from surgery.
Good morning, Scotty B.
Good morning.
How be you?
You just couldn't let it go, could you?
Yeah. It's one of those things that just
sits in your bowel and irritates you until you have an ulcer.
Yeah,
that's it.
Hopefully I won't have that.
And we got Jeff Genet over here as well. Jeff, good morning, sir.
And I promise I won't call you Jeffy G. All right, too late.
Yeah, now that he said it, it's going to every week. Yeah, sorry about that, Jeff. So we got some good news. We're working on the studio. We're going to have a whole new setup here. We're gonna get rid of the beloved dog bone, which is our console here that we've been using. It's just a big table that James Lantine made for us many years ago. At the House of Magic, and it's worked very nice all these years, but it's time to let it go because podcasting has changed and we got to change with the time. So we're going to have probably a rectangular table in here with a black tablecloth that will get filthy every week and I'll have to take home and wash. And Friday Shot Day show mainly. And we're going to have multi-camera effects. We'll be able to zoom in on people, on individuals. We'll have room cameras so you can see all of us in the room at the same time. And it's going to be a learning process because I'm going to have to figure out how to do this and do the show at the same time. But we'll figure it out. We've always figured it out. And it's I know it gets a little rough for you listeners and watchers out there, but thanks for sticking around with us. Yes,
Does that
John?
mean I got to put my pants back on?
If you came in here without your pants on, you would go down the stairs really fast.
You just slip some off.
You can't see me hands from over there.
That was a very creepy laugh that John just did. It kind of scared me a little bit. A little perv laugh there. So anyway, so I just wanted you guys to know about that. And we're going to start off today talking about the Santa Paula Film Festival, which is next week. The dates here are right in front of me. It's the 25th to the 27th next week. There were 109 submissions to the film festival. I watched 108 of them. The 109th one was withdrawn, so I didn't get a chance to see that one. Many of them were pretty good. A lot of them were documentaries, and I have a problem sometimes because the documentaries, especially they're all short films. Some of the short films use network news footage. And I don't know that you can do that and call it your film. That bothered me. And I get that sometimes that's all the footage you got, but it just doesn't seem right to me. That kind of thing bothered me. There were a couple of very opinionated submissions that we dumped because they were a little heavy-handed. And there was also a couple of films made by kids, which were very entertaining. And the funny thing is, in my opinion, and I'm just one of the judges there, the best film of the festival was actually shot here in Santa Paula. And not because it was shot in Santa Paula. That's meaningless to me. I'm not going to, I'm glad it was, but I'm not going to pick something just because it was shot in Santa Paula. It was just the best film. It had a great line in it, which I'll tell you guys off air because I don't want any spoilers going out to the audience, but it was a terrific line that just made me smile and think, okay, this movie's a little bit different. And I really enjoyed it. But anyway, you can come on down to the theater. It's at the, which theater is that? It's all about Santa Paula here. I don't have the theater. That's really embarrassing. Anyway, you can come down and check out the films. Just come to Santa Paula, or you can go to Santa Paula Film Festival.org, and it'll tell you all the information you need to know. And it was very successful last year. They did very well last year. Sorry?
Is it at the Art Center? Is that a picture right in the middle?
Oh, good call, Johnny. I bet it is at the Art Center. There you go. And there are some beautiful things in Santa Paula. Santa Paula is a great little town. I was born here, as a matter of fact. I was born in Santa Paula, little hospital on the hill. And
that picture of the train station, there was a Dennis DeYoung video that was filmed there. I think it was called Paradise. It was after he left.
So many videos, so many movies shot there. That when they were talking about closing that railroad because of funding, the studios got together and said, we need that railroad. That's one of the only places we can shoot train scenes. Yeah. And I don't know if they still do that anymore because they did. I think they got bought out, and now they still do events. They do that pedal event where you get in a little railroad car and pedal along the tracks. But I don't know if that must have been most of their money, right? The studios renting them out. And when the studios are panicked because we got nowhere else to go, you'd think that there'd be some support there as well. But
I wish I could remember. There was a movie that I filmed. I worked on that was filmed here in Santa Paula, and for life of me, I can't remember what it was. But I do remember we filmed some scenes down at the old train station, and we had all our gear all set up. Had the big giant bounce set up, and all of a sudden the arms came down. And clang, 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 and the arms came down. So we had to move everything off the tracks. And we waited, and the arms go back up. So we go back out. We set everything back up, including the big light bounce on the aluminum frame. I mean, we're talking almost as big as that wall, and that's a big wall. And we're getting ready to roll. Clang, 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 the arms came back down. We had to do that like three or four times. And then I don't remember if it was me or if it was somebody else that said,
I think it's you guys.
Every time we put that aluminum frame on the tracks, it makes a connection. And that's what brought the alarms down.
Oh, that's funny.
So we had to jockey that around because there was no train coming.
Yeah.
So
interesting film story. Yeah, that's interesting.
But a lot of the scenes that we shot it was either on Santa Barbara Street or Santa Paula Street. And once got all those old, beautiful Victorian homes.
Oh yeah, I watched Steven Spielberg shoot the Twilight Zone movie out here. I came out here. It was actually in Fillmore, I think it was. But he was shooting a movie at one of those old houses out there, and I was just a kid. But we came out and watched Steven Spielberg direct Scatman Crothers. It was awesome. It was so cool. Twilight Zone, yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, it was Fillmore or Piru, I think.
Maybe Piru even, yeah.
Those two.
But it was amazing. It was so much fun. They shot so many movies here. They just recently shot Paradise, that TV show, had a shoot here in town.
I'm not sure, but I think Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry may have been filmed here in Ventura County.
There is a list of movies shot in Santa Paula. I'm pretty sure it's Santa Paula. Painted on the wall down there. Have you seen that?
Sure.
It's downtown Santa Paula by Park 1055, that new restaurant bar. And then across the street-ish is a window, and they've painted all the names and scenes from the movies that were shot here in town. It's very cool. It's very cool.
What was the name of the movie that Michael Paré did? It's about, I think it's not a battleship, but like a cruiser or light cruiser, something like that from World War II that disappears in time, then reappears someplace else.
Philadelphia Experiment.
Yes. I know a lot of that was filmed in the Piru area. I don't know how much of it was filmed here in Santa Paula. But it's funny, when you watch those kind of movies, you go, oh, I know where that's at.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they do it just because LA has such a terrible permit thing going on. It's really expensive to shoot anywhere in LA, so they shoot in the counties around because it's cheaper. There's not all that red tape, and closer by.
And the small towns want the revenue because you do get a revenue bump from when somebody's shooting a movie in your town. You know, there's
Well,
just
hopefully a lot of that will change with the new thing that I believe Governor Newsom signed into law.
somebody finally realized we got to give these people the tax breaks. Like Georgia, how many times you watch a movie that has nothing to do with Georgia? I watched a space movie the other day, thanks to the Georgia film, because Georgia's giving them the tax breaks, so they go to Georgia. You know, you want them to film here. This is the movie capital of the world. Keep them here by keeping those rates low and fair.
Yeah, and on that, like, there's lots of filmmakers that are breaking out of Hollywood, and they're like setting up their own studios in Colorado and Texas. I know Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, and I forget the name of the other guy. They set up their own studio in Texas just now.
Yeah,
and they're trying to get stuff going there, and all these people. Big Hollywood people are doing that in other states now.
The Dallas-Fort Worth area has had a thriving studio system. You remember the TV show Walker, Texas Ranger?
sure.
That was filmed at those studios in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I can't remember what the name of that area was called or is called. But I know Texas is big time.
Robert Rodriguez has his studios out there.
Yeah.
The movie we just saw last week, Superman, I noticed at the end of the credits, at least I believe it's Superman, I saw the big thing, Georgia.
Yeah. Why not? If you're going to get a tax bump from them, a break, then why not? You get a tax break, they get a revenue bump. It just seems like a no-brainer. But when people start getting greedy, oh, it's a movie, I can raise my rates. I mean, I've heard stories about stores that were rented out to shoot a movie, and they say, okay, well, we'll rent the building to you for this amount, but then if you're going to park your cars, you have to pay X amount more for parking. It's like you're getting greedy and you're chasing those people away. Just take the money you can, and it's good money usually. There are times they're going to try to slip you, because they're going to try to get out as cheap as they can, but it's usually good money. And I don't know. I understand it all, but just don't get greedy and chase off the people who are bringing the money. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, even student filmmakers too. They have a hard time. You pull out a camera in LA, the cops are on you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't understand that at all. But anyway, that's the Santa Paula Film Festival is what we're talking about now. And it's up here in Santa Paula next weekend. It was close to sold out last year. They're all shorts this year, so you don't have to spend as much time in the theater. The one thing I thought was interesting about the submissions is, first of all, there's this one filmmaker who I will not name, and he entered like 10, 11 films in the festival. None of them were very good. All of them were shot on iPhone. And all of them starred him. And I thought, why is this guy, is he just trying to make a splash? Does he just want his films to be able, screened at if they got accepted, screened at the Santa Paula Film Festival? I didn't understand the logic behind that. It was just odd. And then there were a couple of films that, one of them was his, that were just scenes. Why are you entering a scene? This one particular film was this couple playing with their dog for like 2.5 minutes.
That way he can say, scene in Santa Paula.
Well, I'm thinking that he has to do that. He could have done that, but I can't think of any other reason. But I mean, I'm not going to give that film. I don't, not that I have the power to pass or not pass, but I do have a vote, and I don't want that. What are you going to do? Show that to an audience? The couple play, they can see that on a TikTok or something.
Next year, enter your films underneath a pseudonym and see what happens.
I swear to you that went through my head. I thought I could make better films than a lot of the ones that I've seen.
Well,
there were a few
films
that were really good films, but it makes me want to pick up the camera and do that again. It's been years since I made a movie, but I'd love to do that again. But
the last one we did was Searching for Inspiration.
Probably was, yeah.
That was a fun shoot.
You haven't looked at that yet, have you? Oh, thank God. Okay, so
we had a ghost, a real ghost.
I have heard that story.
Yes, that's a true story too. So the Santa Paula Film Festival is brought to you partly by the Jack Oakey and Victoria Horn Oakey Charitable Foundation. They are very good people who support a lot of art, so we appreciate them being part of this. And again, it is next weekend, free submission for all students, because even though it's not 100% student films, a lot of it is student films, and so that's very good as well. And a lot of foreign language films. And the great thing about the foreign language films is that you hear about these people's situation on the news. And it's kind of like, okay, well, it's a news story, you know, it's a splash. You think, oh, those poor people or those good, those lucky people or whatever. But when you see a film made with them, told usually from their perspective through their eyes, it changes everything. It's got a completely different impact. And that's one of the things I really like about the film festival, seeing some of them. Not they don't make some crappy films too, but a lot of them are very good. So any questions about that, guys?
Yeah, I'm still looking up there, and then I can't see where the festival is going to be at, where they're shooting.
I think you nailed it. I think it is the Arts Center. Yeah, but anyway, it was, like I said, very successful last year. I'm sure it'll be successful this year. I did miss the feature films because I'm a feature film guy, and we saw some great feature films last year. We also saw some really bad feature films last year, but that's part of. Isn't that part of the process?
Yeah.
I mean, we see films like, big film or
Blockbusters, movies, studio movies.
Not so much blockbusters, but studio movies, theatrical releases that are really.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go through a list, but yeah, I've seen some really. You put that on film? You released that? So. Yeah,
it's a money business. So but then they end up pulling the movies. Like I'm crushed about the movies they pull, like Batgirl. I just want to see it. Whether bad or good, let me decide. I just want to see it, and I'm glad they saved the Coyote movie.
Yeah,
because they canceled that Coyote movie with Will Ferrell and John Cena, right? And they canceled it, and I thought, I want to see this, and everybody involved was like, it's a really good movie, and all the people who had actually seen it said it's a really good movie, but it got canceled. But another studio bought it for considerable money too, and they're going to be releasing it, so we'll see.
The actor who played the latest Flash in the movies, I can't think of his name.
That's because he committed career suicide.
Yeah, but wasn't his movie, the Flash movie, pulled? But then it came back. No,
they were trying to talk. Some people were recommending they pull the Flash movie and release the Batgirl movie.
Yeah, but because I did see him in which one was it? I think it had Batman, Superman, maybe
Justice
Wonder
League.
Yeah, it could have been Justice League.
Yeah.
But wasn't there a standalone movie that they made with him?
The Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was the last movie of the old DCEU.
Well, then they should at least release it as a direct-to-video.
Well, here's the problem. They get a bigger tax break than that. If they cancel the movie, they get a big chunk of taking it out of their taxes. So again, it boils down to greed and making your shareholders happy, which is very important, obviously. But it's disappointing when a movie like that comes out that might be interesting or might be god-awful. But you're curious in seeing it.
What was that movie? The guy who starred in it, directed it, wrote it, produced it. He's got long hair, and the only line I can think from that movie, I never saw the movie.
The same line that everybody thinks of from that movie.
Lisa, you're tearing me apart.
The Room.
Yeah.
I haven't seen The Room.
I don't want to see it. It's simply from seeing that scene. It's just like.
Well, I think that's what that movie became, though. It became famous for being bad.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I haven't even seen like the making of The Room, the one with Seth Rogen and James Franco. I haven't seen that one either.
I downloaded that one thinking it was The Room, and then when I started it, I went, "Wait, this isn't the movie I wanted to watch," so I stopped.
That guy's name. Oh my gosh, that's gonna bug me.
Sorry.
We'll find out right now.
Tommy Wiseau.
That's him. Yeah.
My friend does a great impression of that guy.
Oh, really? So anyway, that's that movie, John. And then, and there are movies like that show up at the film festival. There's just a lot of people think they're filmmakers and they're just not. Or like I said, these films, the other film that I remember, and if you're the filmmakers, I apologize, but I don't know why you submitted it. And it's of like the Los Angeles River, and it's dried up and there's weeds and the camera just starts here and it just pulls back. And it pulls back for about, 33 seconds. Fiend, it's over. Like,
yeah.
Why did you? You could have just stuffed Did you take that by accident by having the phone in your back pocket and the camera was on? I don't know, but that was actually submitted and entered as a film. No, you're not. My vote. You're not going to get seen by the audience. But maybe I misunderstood it. Maybe it's about life trickling through the the waters of hope. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Art films. It's not for me.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. And I it's I really, how do you call it an art film? It's just a video somebody shot that they could have put on TikTok and taken the heat for it.
My favorite description of art, because I'm someone who doesn't. I'm not a big fan of like modern art, especially. And I remember this one story that actually happened locally here. Some lady had entered a sculpture into the Ventura County Fair, and she won top prize for the fair, like I don't know, the highest prize you can get. And everyone was like, wow, this really, it brings out the feelings of the current state of our world right now, like all this stuff. This is what the judges wrote, and that's why they gave it first prize. And then they interviewed the lady, and the lady was like, yeah, I made this sculpture, and then my dog chewed on it the night before, and I figured I worked so hard on it anyways, I might as well submit it and just see what happened. And she submitted it. So that just goes to tell you that like art doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all based on who's, I don't know.
It's
people that are
well,
talking.
you know,
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It is weird. It's truly in the eye of the beholder. It's
Yeah.
like it like wine's the same way. You see people going, oh yes, the effervescence and the flavors of it's just wine. Drink it.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing you can say about music. You listen to a song, it doesn't matter who the artist is.
It might if it's Kanye.
Yeah, well, anything he does, we know what it is. But when you listen to songs, well, Kiss, I can't think of the name of the song, but I'm just using them. And you form in your mind, okay, this is what this song is about. And then you read an interview with either Paul Stanley or Gene Simmons, and they go, no, that's not what it was about. It was about this over here. It's like, which had nothing.
Well, if it was Kiss, it was about sex.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
I mean,
That's all they ever sang
song,
about.
Was it Mandy? Was about a dog.
Oh,
was
that's
not
that's
about-
sweet.
A girl. It was about a dog. And for years, people thought it was about a failed relationship. No, it was about a dog that either died or ran away or whatever.
It reminds me of when John Denver and Dee Snider from Twisted Sister and Frank Zappa were all on Capitol Hill because of the what was the phrase, the Washington Wives Against Rock or something like that.
Oh,
And it was all about the labeling of music.
it was Vice President Clinton's vice president.
Yeah.
What's his name?
It was
was
silly is
his
what it was. But it was the stupidest thing ever. But there's some brilliance behind this as well. But anyway, they went to Capitol Hill, and they were here's Dee Snider with his long blonde hair. At that time, he had carved his teeth into fangs, so he had this mauve of these gnarly teeth. And they were talking about how violent his music was. Because my music isn't violent. And they said, really? Well, and they read these lyrics from this song called Under the Blade. And they go, can you tell us what that song's about? And he goes, yeah, it's about my fear of the dentist. It's all in whoever's head. But the best thing about that whole story is here's Frank Zappa, arguably one of the smartest men ever in rock and roll, incredible musician, just a genius in every possibility of the way. And when it was all over and they were going to slap the labels on the music, Dee Snider was talking to Frank Zappa. He goes, or maybe it was John Denver, one of them. He goes, we failed. We went there. We pled our hearts out. We told the truth, and we still lost. They're going to label our music. And Zappa said, well, that's what I wanted them to do. No, wait, you were the driving force to prevent this. He goes, do you know how many more records we're going to sell now that they have labels on them? His plan all along was like, I'm going to make this really important, and then I'm going to sell more records because everybody knows if that label's on there, it must be adult. And that's how smart Frank Zappa was.
Now, I don't know. I haven't bought an LP or a CD in a long time.
That's why music's dying, John.
Well, no, what I'm getting is I don't know if they still have those labels, that parental
They do.
advisor. They do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they found out they helped sell the record. I guess even today, even though music's so much different, and not bad. I'm not one of those people who says that today's music's bad. It's just different. It's not the music I listen to, but it shouldn't be. Music should evolve, and you don't have songs that. Well, I'm not going to say that because it's 100% untrue. Never mind. We'll move on. I was going to say that you don't have songs like the songs back when the rock and rollers. I mean, the biggest selling import single of all time was a song by Wasp called "F Like a Beast," and it was the biggest selling import single of all time. And I was going to say you don't have things like that anymore. And then I went, no, you really have a lot worse. So,
what was their name? They did Fox on the Run.
Sweet.
The
Sweet.
That was one of the biggest selling records of all time. Even outsold the Beatles. And
Sweet was a great band.
Oh yeah, they were. And it's a shame what happened to their lead singer when he got jumped and it destroyed his voice. That he got beat up bad, big time. And
I found a Sweet record at Pick and Save of all places. That was a CD, not a record. And I bought it just because I was a fan of the band. And then when I took it home and took the plastic wrapping off, I realized that it had been resealed, and I didn't know from where. And one of the band members had signed the front of it was not a print, it was an actual signature of one of the band guys. I thought, where did this come from and how did it get here?
Right.
It was weird, but I was glad to have it. Here's the sad thing, because it was Sweet, it was signed in pink ink. And it's faded away. It's no longer there at all. It just faded to nothing. You're like, oh, that makes me sad.
So there were some really good bands that came out of the 60s and the 70s that when you listen to their music today, it's like, really? Or when you listen to it yesterday, really?
I don't know what that means at all. Do you have any idea?
Just
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the bands that I really liked was Slade.
Oh, yeah.
Was it AC/DC covered their big song?
No, it was Quiet Riot.
Quite right. And
boy, you're really dating me bad now, John. We need to move on.
hey, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's all of a
But,
sudden. Let's hear Scott's classic rock talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is it?
That's enough of that.
I miss doing
That was you're always giving Jeff a hard time about not seeing Gunsmoke or something like that. And it's the same thing when I was working for the pest control company. There was this guy who went to all these classic rock shows. And he'd come in the next day and he'd be like, oh, yeah, I saw LA Guns last night and they were so bad. And these bands open for him. And this guy, and I'm looking at these kids who he's working with who are in their 20s. I go, they don't know who LA Guns is. They didn't. They're like, what's wrong with Keith? He's talking about guns. No, it's a band, LA. And that just, things march on, It just, that there's things that fade away and there's things that continue. And music, thankfully, evolves.
I saw somebody wrote down something about, no, they didn't write it down. It was printed, like from a machine about Taylor Swift being the most popular, the best singer, songwriter, producer of all time. I'm going,
but that's their fans, John. You would say it's the Beatles.
no, I would have said Brian Wilson.
Okay, you just said Brian Wilson. I would say Alice Cooper. This is my phrase. I said this first. Music is the most individual art because everybody's got different tastes. Everybody's got different what they want to hear. Everybody's got a different way of listening. Some people it's background. Some people, like me, it's foreground. That's why it really is an individual art. People like things even more so than movies. Movies, you can take somebody like, I'll take my wife to see Superman. She's looking forward to that. But her kind of movie is a rom-com. But she can still expand that. So I think that's also the beauty of music. And it's too bad it's in such a weird situation right now.
I know you want to get away from the music and all that, but Elvin Bishop's.
And by the way, Taylor Swift is pretty freaking great. You got to give her points.
And if your daughter-in-law is listening, I was only kidding.
Yeah, you're dead to her.
Oh, she'll cut my throat in a heartbeat.
I think Taylor Swift's best album was I forget.
It's the one you have.
I have surprisingly all of them. Geez, what was it?
She is talented.
Speak Now. That's the best album. Which is one of her earlier ones. All their new ones sound the same.
Elvin Bishop's song "Fooled Around and Fell in Love." For years, I thought Elvin Bishop sang it. No, I think it was Marty Ballin. So one of the guys from.
Are you sure about that?
From Starship. And I can't remember if it was a Marty Ballin. Because I just saw this thing.
Are you sure it wasn't a cover version that somebody else did? Because I would have swore it was, and I could be wrong too. That says Elvin Bishop everywhere.
Yeah. But you see the guy in the blue shirt?
Yeah.
He's the one that sang it. Him. That's not Elvin Bishop.
Who is really saying I fooled around and fell in love?
Mickey Thomas.
Oh, interesting. I always thought it was Elvin Bishop too.
But I saw, I'm going, really? And the reason why Elvin Bishop didn't think that his voice matched the song. So Mickey Thomas was a backup singer, and they got him to do it. And he, in his interview, he said, I jumped it.
You know what's funny is that you look at this and it's clearly says, here's a copy of the single when it was released, Fooled Around and Fell in Love by Elvin Bishop. So it still was under the Elvin Bishop credit, even though Mickey Thomas did the vocals.
Now, I like that. Based on his work with Bishop, Thomas was invited to become the lead singer for Jefferson Starship, which originally started out as Jefferson Airplane.
Once again, welcome to Rock Talk here
I'm
on the
sorry,
Backseat Mogul Show.
Okay.
All right, so moving to movies. So I did see a couple of movies this week. Santa Paula Film Festival, by the way, next week, santapaulafilmfestival.org. Don't miss it. I had seen The Old Guard before on Netflix. Have you seen The Old Guard, anybody?
I have.
Okay. It's an action. I'd seen it before and I watched it again so I could get ready for The Old Guard too. It's been a while. I didn't realize how long. I think Old Guard was 2019. It's been that many years. But anyway, The Old Guard is about a group of
Immortals.
Well, spoiler alert. It's about a group of soldiers or mercenaries who team up against bad guys all over the world, which is all I was going to say. Then I was going to say there's a twist, and now the whole world knows what the twist is. But yeah, no point in watching it now. All right, we're moving on. What'd you see, Jeff? No, anyway. So The Old Guard is okay. It's not a great movie. I mean, everything is fine. The action sequence are so-so. Charlize Theron, I'll sit 2 hours and watch her in anything. So that's okay. But it was just okay. It's like, I liked it, but it was not John Wick. So we watched that just to get caught up. And then we watched The Old Guard 2, which continues basically where The Old Guard left off. And the problem with The Old Guard 2 is they put so much lore into it. It's like Highlander with all these little secrets and things that you didn't know about before that now they're incorporating, and these weird little tricks that have to do with their special power, and how the things happen. It just got so heavy that I was like, okay, enough. I don't want to learn about this. I just want to watch the movie. I don't need you to teach me your universe right now. And it got to a little sloggy, and the action sequences again seemed a little kind of dull's the wrong word, but not sharp. And I'd recommend it again if you're a Charlize Theron fan. Uma Thurman plays the bad guy in the new one, which points for that too. And but they're just okay movies. They're not bad movies. They're just okay movies. So if you're looking for something like that, The Old Guard 1 and 2 are fine, especially if you like Charlize Theron and Uma Thurman. These are both Netflix movies. Yeah, Netflix originals. So that's my movies of the week. And take it or leave it for what you want. If you like action movies, you'll probably get enough out of these, but you might be a little disappointed compared to modern stuff. So Jeff went down the old vintage pipeline here and saw some old classics. Tell us about those. I don't know where you want to start. So
that's a good question. Let's see. Because we didn't get to talk about them last week. I started with Akira Kurosawa's Stray Dog, which came out in 1949. It was one of his early films. I think it was fifth or sixth film.
Detective story, right? Is that the one? Yes.
It's about a cop who gets his gun stolen, and then that gun starts getting used in crimes. So he has to find the person who has the gun before things get too bad. It was really interesting. You see a lot of his techniques kind of coming out, which back in the day, like there were all these rules of cinema, things you could and couldn't do with the camera and stuff like that. And Akira Kurosawa, he broke a lot of those rules and did all this crazy camera work. And it was really cool. And honestly, the main character is Toshiro Mifune. And that's a guy who's in all of his movies, and he looks so young in that. Like, I didn't even know it was him. I was like, is this? I had to look it up. Oh my gosh, that's him.
That's amazing.
Isn't he the guy that plays Yamamoto from the World War II movies?
Probably. Let's leave it at that.
No, I'm thinking,
He was in 1941, right?
No, I was thinking more like Midway, the first Midway.
Probably.
And I believe he played the big admiral.
So what year was this again?
1949.
1949. And it was Kurosawa's first film, or
I like his fifth
film.
sixth film, something
Okay.
like that.
Well, when did he do Seven Samurai?
Seven Samurai, that was in the 60s.
67, I'm thinking. I don't know if that's right, but something like that.
Yeah, and they were the main two actors of this were also like they're in all of his films, but like you recognize them right away as those two guys. I don't remember the second guy's name, but he's a great actor too. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was cool. Like I said, a lot of cool camera shots.
It's Stray Dog. I thought you were saying Straw Dog.
No, Stray Dog. I better change that.
Wow.
And actually, the other guy, he was in a Godzilla film. He was in the original Godzilla film.
Oh, he was. I just looked up Toshiro Mifune to see if he'd ever been in a Godzilla movie.
No, it's the other guy, but I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Now, I watched a piece of this because I told Josh I'd never seen Seven Samurai. And after I was getting up off the floor picking up my teeth, he came back and brought me his box set. So I will see Seven Samurai when I have 3.5 hours to get through it.
That's the best way to see it. Although, what's interesting is, like, for me, Seven Samurai is the only way that I can get that story. I've seen Magnificent Seven, both of the versions of that. I've seen, they've redone that story so many times. Even Bug's Life, and I think Bug's Life is like the good a good version of that story. But I can't really watch the other ones because I have to have the full version. And I think maybe it's because I saw that one first.
Maybe
that's the one I prefer. So I mean, if you've seen Magnificent Seven, maybe you'd like, I prefer Magnificent Seven over Seven Samurai.
They even did a Western TV series, Magnificent Seven.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Stray Dog, which was also in that set, and I was very impressed with the photography and the use of the black and white, which is, I guess, well, no, they had color then, right? But it was sharp and very, very noir. It had it had detective movie feel to it, and I wondered to myself how many detective movies that followed that picked that up and developed it, because that's kind of a standard thing. Even Sin City with Frank Miller had that sharp black and white imagery, So I don't know. Do you think that a lot of people use that as an influence?
I mean, I think a lot of people use a lot of Kurosawa. Like, I think he was like a groundbreaking person who just shaped the future. Whether you were watching those movies or not, there were inspirations of Kurosawa that are still used today.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. And I
watched To Kill a Mockingbird, black and white, and again, the black and white again was so crisp. I would hate to see that movie made today, or if they colorized that movie, I would hate to see that. As a originally released, it stands alone.
I don't hate colorization like many people do, because if you can get somebody who would never watch a black and white movie to watch To Kill a Mockingbird, for example, I think that's a good thing. Whether it's not the original black or white or not, if you can get somebody to watch it who normally wouldn't watch it, and colorization is so good these days, it's terrifying. I think that's okay. I don't really, it doesn't bother me. I even watched a colorized version of Night of the Living Dead, and it was not great colorization, but it was still, I thought, well, if you can get somebody to watch it who wouldn't normally watch it.
Yeah, it's weird. I used to be that way too, where I wouldn't watch a black and white movie.
Really?
Until after high school. When I started working at the theater, I was still that way. And I think the first black and white movie I saw was Psycho.
Oh.
Hitchcock, and I was like, wow, I'm missing out on a lot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what opened the floodgates for me. So
that's cool. That's a good one to start.
Yeah.
What else you see?
Let's see. I followed Stray Dog up with I think it was The Gunfighter or My Darling Clementine. I don't remember one of the two. So I'll just say with The Gunfighter.
Okay, good, because I have a poster of that. I love that poster. Old two-tone poster.
Yeah, The Gunfighter with Gregory Peck. I really love this movie. So the Criterion Collection has a sale at Barnes & Noble for a month, 2 months out of the year. It's 50% off, and that's usually when I go and I'll buy 2 DVDs. and I'll usually pick up a Western or a film from Asia. Usually it's a Kurosawa film, though.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah.
DVD or Blu-ray?
Depends on how I'm feeling.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. I did get The Gunfighter on Blu-ray. I did get Stray Dog on DVD.
Okay, with you.
So, I just saw that on there. I thought, oh, okay, well, Gregory Peck, he's a great actor. I'll pick it up. I don't even know what it's about. And I really, really enjoyed The Gunfighter. It's about this old gunslinger who's the fastest draw, and everybody wants to be quicker than him. So everybody's constantly challenging this guy, and he wants to get away from that. So something happens in the beginning of the film. He's running away from these guys who are going to kill him. And he stops in this town. He has some unfinished business he wants to do. And throughout the film, multiple people find out he's there, and multiple people set up shop somewhere to kill this guy.
To challenge him individually or as a team?
To challenge him individually or take a pot shot at him,
They just want him dead.
They just want him dead.
Because they can say, hey, I killed someone.
Yeah.
Or that this guy killed somebody I know, I'm going to kill this guy. And he's in this bar, and through multiple points in the movie, it's like, okay, these guys are coming. He has to get out of this town before them. That's his time limit. So he's constantly looking at the clock and like, okay, I have this much time. But then there's a guy at the back door now. Or there's a guy who has a gun trained on the front door. So if he constantly gets up to step out, and then something stops him. So it's like that Alfred Hitchcock thing of placing a bomb underneath the desk.
Yes.
But this time it's like there's 6 bombs, and they're all moving around, and you don't know which one's going to go. And it was so stressful. Like I was on the edge of the couch just going like, oh no, he's going to the door. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I stepped away from the door. All right. But it was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend that.
Do you know who directed that off the top of your head? I was going to look it up, but
I do not know. Because it has big words, just The Gunfighter.
yeah.
Gregory Peck. Or
There it is right there.
There it is, 1950. It was directed by Henry King. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Very good.
Great film.
There is another Gregory Peck movie that I didn't put on that list, and I think it's a Western. I'm trying to remember. I think it's called Ride the High Country, which is a really good.
That's a Cheech and Chong movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Ride the High Country.
Smoke the High Country.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
No, Ride the High Country, and I know it's got horses in it.
I watched a Gregory Peck movie a couple of years ago now, but I was stunned by it because it was about him as another retired gunfighter, and this team of gunmen come to his house when he's not there, and they kill his wife and his family. So at this point, he's decided he's going to go out and chase those guys down and kill every one of them. It's called the Bravados, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. And so he does that. He's going through, and anybody gets in his way, they're dead. He moves on, and it just all the way to the end. Finally, he's got one guy left. God, talking about spoilers. I don't know if I can say this. I can't tell you. Just the end. It is just stunning. I remember watching it one night. I bought it at the thrift store, and I sat down and watched it from beginning to end past midnight. Just one of those things that you do sometimes. And when it was all over, I would just sat there stunned, thinking, wow, I never would have ever guessed that. And it was freaking brilliant. But it's the same thing. It's very exciting from beginning to end. You're always tense. Is he going to get shot before he gets these bad guys? And then, like I said, the ending is so stunningly surprising. I should have pulled up so I knew who directed that one as well. But it was the same thing. It's black and white, and it's just freaking brilliant. So there's so many great Westerns out there. There's and there's great modern Westerns too, like that movie that's out now, Eddington. I'm very anxious to see that with Nick Offerman. I would be going this week, but I've got to come here and do some work.
Now, when you say modern Western, is it modern day type?
Yes.
Western?
Yes.
Okay, so there is modern conveniences. Like
stop and goes and 7-Elevens, right?
Yeah.
And telephones. And,
Yeah, it takes place in current time.
okay.
Yeah,
But-
but it has like the same themes and stuff of a Western film that would have like, I had in my list that I had Sicario in my list that I had, and Logan, the X-Men movie would be considered a Western, or even
It's a great movie.
No Country for Old Men, Western. They're like called neo-Westerns.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I just call them
I
modern
would even
Westerns.
consider Nope a Western.
One of my favorite.
Dope was great.
started to say Kevin Sorbo. Remember last time I couldn't remember his name. Kevin Costner westerns was Silverado. A very young Kevin Costner. That movie today is one of my favorite westerns.
I love that movie too, but it's just too slick. You know, you want your westerns to be a little gritty. And Silverado was really too slick. I did buy it on Blu-ray because it came with a deck of cards that was that had the film logo and stuff on it. But I mean, I like it, but it was just too clean. And that's part of my problem with Sam Raimi's Quick and the Dead. I love the movie, don't get me wrong, but it's just a little too clean. It's there's some grittiness to it, but it's just a little too. It's like you watch Country for Old Men. That movie does not feel clean. That movie is gritty from beginning to end. You know, a lot to do with Javier Bardem, I guess, but
Which I haven't seen.
you haven't seen it? Oh, at the end? Oh, never mind. Another one, though. Another one where the end will lead to discussion. Let's say.
Every time I sit down to watch that, because it'll be on Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah.
And Amazon Prime does this thing where it's there for a week and it's gone for a week and it's there for every time I sit down to
So
watch
annoying.
it, it's gone. And then I'm like, oh well, whatever. And then the next day it's there again. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll sit down and watch it like sometime this week, and then it's gone again. And so it's back on.
You find out when it's showing again. You set the alarm on your phone.
I'm just gonna buy it at this point, so that I don't have to worry.
You should. It's worth buying no matter what, because it's you know, sometimes, you know, just like I know that I could go buy Seven Samurai and I'd be happy that I had it. Same thing. But or I could just keep my son's copy and tell him to go buy his own.
Yeah. And then he'll be helping you get up off the floor.
That's also true. Yeah.
What's the third movie you saw?
My Darling Clementine, which was a Western by John Ford about the shooting at OK Corral, Tombstone. It was okay. It's kind of one of those things, like I was mentioning earlier with Seven Samurai. I had seen the movie Tombstone, so that was my bar.
Which you love, right? Tombstone.
I love that movie. I think it's a fantastic movie, and I'm so sad that I only saw it last year. I wish I had seen it way sooner, because that is a badass movie. Go see Tombstone if you haven't seen Tombstone. And this movie, I mean, is the 1950s, whatever, or 40s, I think. They took a lot of liberties with like the historical story.
Sure.
And me, I'm kind of like no, it didn't actually happen. So it was okay. It was cool, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite version of the events at the OK Corral, I guess.
Well, 1946, that was a long time and a different time, a different era as far as those kind of movies were concerned, too.
Who's the cast in that?
Well, let's find out, shall we? Henry Fonda, Victor Mature, Linda Darnell, Walter Brennan. Yeah, a lot of good people in that.
Yeah.
Tim Holt.
Did you buy that, or did you?
I did buy that through the last Criterion sale.
Oh, very nice.
On Blu-ray. And yeah, I mean, it's John Ford, so the cinematography is great. You have all I mean, just the beautiful, what is it, Arizona, right? Arizona deserts.
Sure, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Big mountains and junk.
Well, he filmed a lot of stuff up in the Alabama hills, which is up by Lone Pine.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. And then probably a few times at Vasquez Rocks, because everybody films at Vasquez Rocks. What was I going to say about that? Oh, that was 1946, so that was 80 years ago.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. You know, we're watching these movies today that are made 80 years ago. I actually love that. I think it's terrific that we're able to do that.
Well, speaking of Henry Fonda, that one movie that I put on that extended list.
Yeah, that was John sent us texts over and over and over and over with westerns.
No, they were different texts because they were different movies. And there were several westerns.
Yeah. Too many is the word he's looking for.
One that you liked that I listed.
Josie Wales.
No, I didn't list that one.
Oh,
you did.
I did.
It had Henry Fonda and Charles Bronson.
Death Wish 5. No? Which one was that?
Not How the West Was Won.
One. No, that's not the one I was.
How the West Was Won.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yes, Once Upon a Time in the West. That was a good movie.
You know what? I regret what I wrote there, because that's not the movie I was thinking of. I haven't seen that movie.
I think it was one of these spaghetti westerns.
Yeah, Sergio Leone, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But it was a really good movie.
Yeah. It's a long one too.
I was thinking Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I finally watched those for the first time last year, the dollar movies, and
That was a
blew me
trilogy.
away, especially Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's just, oh my, I was just sitting there going, I've always heard how great this movie was. I had no idea it was this great. It's epic.
Which was the first one?
A Fistful of Dollars.
And then a few dollars more, and then the good and the bad and the ugly.
And what did we learn about that?
It's good movies.
What did we learn about the man with no name?
Oh.
It's not true. He has a name. They mentioned it in the movies. That was just a marketing campaign that I think it was MGM then came up with to sell the movies, calling him the man with no name.
I thought it was also because there was like a copyright issue with each one, and they wanted to keep making the movies with those characters, so they had to keep.
That may be true
changing it
too.
or something.
That may be true too, but because his name does change from movie to movie.
Yeah, like one of them was Blondie, and then the other one's
It's a name like Duke or Larry or
Mo, Kurt,
Sebastian. Something like that. Curly's good. Yeah,
Paul,
but
John, Ringo,
that-
George.
that movie's that movie's just stunning. That's the one I thought I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in the West, but I do want to see it, especially after experiencing those three movies, and it just got better and better.
Mhm.
And then that Once Upon a Time, I want to see that at Cinerama Dome. I'd love to see that at the Dome, but that's probably not going to happen.
Hollow West was one. It was a long movie.
I like the sequel, How the West Was 2.
And Jimmy Stewart, George Peppard. I even think John Wayne's in it. He plays, I think he plays Grant. It's a great movie. It's a long movie, but the reason why I brought this up because Henry Fonda, Jimmy Stewart, they did a movie together, which it was a Western, but it was kind of a comedy. It's called The Cheyenne Social Club.
I remember that.
I highly recommend that movie. It is just, it's a fun movie to watch.
Right, okay.
It's about these two guys that end up with a house of ill repute in a Western town. And I think they won it in a card game.
I haven't seen that. I know that movie, but I haven't seen. I actually have a poster for that movie from the movie theater days. But now I want to see it for sure. My favorite. It's not my favorite. One of my favorite John Wayne movies is Big Jake, and it's just a big dumb movie from beginning to end. I don't care. I love it.
Great
It's
cast.
about when they kidnap his son.
His grandson.
And his son goes with him and his son is an idiot, and they go to rescue the kid. I'm going to do the air quotes on rescue, and it is one of the bloodiest, silliest movies. But I just love it so much. I was so happy when I found it on DVD. It's like, yep, I'll take that right now.
Good cast. I mean, the bad
Richard Boone, man.
Yeah.
Anything Richard Boone's in, I'm going to watch. So
guy- Oh.
Which one did you say that?
that's Big Jake.
Have you seen The Shootist?
I did. Not a big fan, but I would see it again.
It was his last movie. And
Ron Howard was the co-star.
Jimmy Stewart was in it.
Oh, I'd forgotten that.
And also, what's her name? Not Catherine Hepburn. She was in the movie with Bogart. where
Lauren
she's-
Bacall.
Yeah, Lauren Bacall. It was a good movie. And it was John Wayne's last feature film to do.
All right, I'm going to tell you a quick story about Richard Boone. This is Richard Boone. I can't pull the screen up here because I don't know how. Sorry, folks. But I do want you guys to, I want to talk about this. So this is Richard Boone. He was one of the great Western actors. He played Heck Ramsey in the ABC Movies of the Week. I love the Heck Ramsey movies. And just take a look at him. I wish there was more pictures of him, but there's really not here. But as you can tell, he's a rugged, but not necessarily good-looking guy, right? Would you say that?
I would say in his younger days he was when he did Paladin, the TV series Paladin.
He looks like a guy in the Western.
See, right there.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a traditionally handsome man, John. But anyway, and the reason I say this is because an old boss of mine, Cal Gerlach,
Mhm.
he was working with his friend and they tried to start a production company. Didn't quite work out, but they wanted to start this production company. And one day they had a meeting with Richard Boone and they wanted Richard Boone to be in their movie. Well, they'd heard of a rumor that Richard Boone loved to look at himself because he thought he was the handsomest man in the world and he loved to look at his own image. So they went down and they bought a bunch of mirrors and put them all around inside the office. So when Richard Boone came in, he could look at himself from every angle. See, that's the kind of old school Hollywood story that I thought it was pretty cool. So again, I don't know how true it is, but I'm hoping that it is.
Well, there's of the different features that I was fortunate enough to work on. You hear about how certain actors are very temperamental, don't get in their way, don't make eye contact with them, and you find out they're some of the nicest people in the business. Sylvester Stallone, Val Kilmer, all kinds of people. Barbara Streisand's husband.
James Brolin.
Yeah, James Brolin. I was doing craft services on the movie, and I went to his trailer to find out if there's anything special he needed. He said, "Oh, that's very nice of you. Just water. That'd be fine." No pushing, no demands. The only people that were making demands were the ones that I call the professional extras. Had no lines, but they thought because they were an extra in the movie, they were top dog. So I just, you hear these certain things and you find out, no, that's not true.
The few movie sets I've been on, I've noticed something, and I didn't notice it on Jeff's set, which is good because basically you're working with all your friends, which helps a lot. But there's a lot of animosity toward a director a lot of times. The few times I've been on a set, and I can't remember the film's names, but it's two or three times, the cast was going around talking crap about the director behind his back, and I thought this doesn't seem like a very good work environment, And it was a science fiction movie, a modern court drama, and I can't remember what the third one was really. But anyway, both times they were just, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. And I thought, is this how it always is on a set? And then like I said, on your set, it wasn't anywhere near that. And again, we're making films with friends, so that changes things a bit too. But have you been on any film sets that you've noticed that?
What the stuff that I've done, usually it's the crew people hangs out with the crew people, and the actors, like, they're in their own little cliques. And I'm not much of a social person anyway, so I'm just kind of like, all right, I know this person, I'm just gonna stick with them. Like, it's just weird how everything sets up. And yeah, that's why, like, on my movie, I tried to, like, all right, everybody's included in everything. We're gonna go to lunch. Everybody's gonna go to lunch, or it's open to everybody to try and get that dynamic going.
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of like, I mean, that was one thing I told all the actors too when we started was, we're doing this to have fun. If you're not going to have fun, then there's no point in doing it. We're going to take it seriously, but like, we're all learning. And that was like the big thing. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to try my best at this, but this is the first time I'm doing something this big. So
yeah,
like, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, I didn't notice anything.
Well, it definitely wasn't on your set. Your set was a bunch of people having fun, and that was the key. And I do have to mention two other sets that I was on. The one was the Twilight Zone set with Steven Spielberg that I mentioned earlier, and also the Matilda set with Danny DeVito directing. And both of those sets, everybody adored the directors. But, we're talking Steven Spielberg and Danny DeVito, and so that may have had a lot to do with that as well. Yeah. And DeVito, by the way, super nice guy. Called everybody parent. Good morning, parent, because I was there with my son. He was, Josh, of course. Yeah. And Josh was in a library scene that got cut. But yeah, it was, but Danny DeVito was just a really nice guy. And that set was different than other sets. But like I said, some of the sets I've been on there, it's just not, how can people work creatively in that environment? I don't get it, but I don't know if it happens all the time. I shouldn't have mentioned it.
I would say I was probably fortunate. Every set I was on, there was good camaraderie all the way around, crew and talent. Mm-hmm. Two things I wanted to bring up. One, I mentioned the Doors. That was with Val Kilmer. When it came time for meal break, who came and sat down with us? It wasn't
Jim Morrison. Oh,
it was Val Kilmer, because we were told he was a method actor, and when he got into a character, he stayed in that character all the way through the shoot, whether the camera was rolling or not. Val Kilmer came and sat down and broke bread with us.
That's nice.
And another movie I did, which was a TV movie, I can't remember if this was the end title or not, but it's called To the Heroes. And it was about the 89 earthquake that hit San Francisco. We filmed a lot of it in the LA area. And Scott Valentine, I don't know if you guys remember Scott Valentine.
Sure.
He was one of the firemen in the movie. And same thing. He came, sat down at our lunch table, and broke bread with us as Scott Valentine. Really, really cool people. Rue McClanahan, super nice lady. She was in that movie. I just, you hear, like I said, you hear these rumors and you find out those aren't true at all.
I've never had a bad experience with a celebrity directly, but I've never really worked on a film with a big name celebrity. But everybody I've talked to there's some. John Ritter was one that I had a situation. We were trying to get a photo for my friends. We were at the ET opening ride, and we were trying to, and there were tons of people. They were trying to get a photo of John Ritter, and he was very short and cut us off. But at the same time, it wasn't his fault because his kids were there and they were running all over the place. So he's got to, he's John Ritter. He's got to keep track of his kids, even though we're at Universal Studios and there's security everywhere. You don't want your kids running all over the place. But that's the only time I've had an issue with anybody. The ones I've met in public have either been cordial or very friendly. Clint Eastwood was cordial. We walked out of a movie one time and he was a press screening and he was walking across the street. So we got him behind him. And my friend John Larson asked him, what you think of the movie, Mr. Eastwood? And Eastwood goes, I liked it. He just kept walking. But he was, he didn't say something bad. He just, kept walking. So
now, I've noticed in a lot of the movies that we've talked about, not only today, but in the past, you have directors like John Ford, who has certain actors that he works with. John Wayne, the same way. He had certain actors that he worked with. Clint Eastwood, the same way. And I suspect that's going to happen to you. The people that you work with, like on our movie.
What he's saying is you're stuck with us.
Yeah. And like I said, our movie, Jeff Genet's movie.
First run.
And there is a GoFundMe page on that.
Yes, there is. And we actually have the image here. Please scan that code. Send Jeff a few bucks. Even if it buys him a couple of tacos, he'll be happy.
Jeff, is this a original screenplay or is this based on a movie, a book?
Based on me.
Oh, okay. So yeah. It's based on actual fact.
Yes. Working at the theater for 6 years.
I need to meet me.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool.
So the other movie you saw was Rio Bravo.
Yeah.
Let's just jump into that real quick. Here's Rio Bravo. John Wayne, Dean Martin, Ricky Nelson. Does it have the director's name there? I don't.
That was. Never mind. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, tell us about Rio Bravo.
Rio Bravo. They arrest a guy, and for murdering someone, and then his brother comes and tries to get him out, but the sheriff says no.
So John Wayne, the good guy, Dean Martin, the bad guy. I don't know. I'm just.
No, Dean Martin's a good guy. He's the drunk in the film.
No, Dean Martin. That's a stretch.
Yeah. So he's the drunk that cleans up and helps John Wayne do his stuff. And then who's the other guy who's on there?
Ricky Nelson.
Yeah, he played a younger guy.
Did he sing?
Yes, they both sang. Dean Martin.
Oh, good.
They sang like 3 songs towards the end.
But
have
he
not
played like the John Wayne's. I want to say like his sidekick.
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier that was Rio Bravo, which I believe in the trilogy, they call it a trilogy. The second one, with John Wayne, instead of Dean Martin, had Robert Mitchum. Instead of Ricky Nelson, it had
Troy
James
Donahue.
Caan.
Oh, James Caan. Oh, okay. That's him.
And James Caan he played, I think his character's name was Colorado.
His name was Colorado.
Oh, okay, then
Yeah.
the other guy's name, or James Caan's character's name, I believe, was Mississippi.
Okay.
I just love Dean Martin, and I'm embarrassed to say I've not seen very many of his movies. I'm more familiar with him from his television appearances and things like that, but I haven't seen Rio Bravo, and I need to. We put on Matt Helm the other night because it was on TBS or something like that, and we watched it for a few minutes. I don't remember. We watched it for a few minutes, and Shelley goes, "Well, this movie's certainly outgrown its era because it's just sexist as all hell." And you watch it and go, "Man, You put the scene up today, and all those people would never work again. But again, it's the product of an era, and I don't cancel it. Just understand it.
Was that the one that had Anne Margaret?
John, I don't know. We watched like 10 minutes of it, and it was a scene at a pool, and Dean Martin was sitting there in his swim trunks and not much else, and there were women walking around with bikinis, and they were doing things like bending over, and he was looking at it, it's like, did he just admit that on the air?
Hey, I don't got a wife.
That's not about a wife. It's about respecting women.
I respect them.
I'm stopping you now, John. For the love of God, I'm stopping you now. All right. So you haven't seen Fabelmans, have you?
I have seen Fabelmans.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Because all I can think about was David Lynch as John Ford.
Yeah. That's why I went out, because of that movie. That's why I went out and started getting John Ford movies. And
really?
Into those older films, just because I've seen a bunch of I almost said Stephen King for some reason. Steven Spielberg interviews where he's like, all these kids that are coming up and becoming filmmakers, they're only watching the films that they were inspired by. Those people, like the new people, or they're watching Christopher Nolan, or they're watching whoever, but they're not going back and watching those people that they learned from. And I saw that around the time that Fabelmans came out, and I thought that's a good idea. So that's why I started going back. Like, all right, John Ford was a huge inspiration to Spielberg. I'm gonna watch John Ford stuff.
Yeah, that's smart.
In the list that I mentioned, I did mention some Steve McQueen westerns. He didn't make a lot of westerns, but a few that he did, like Nevada Smith, I thought was a great movie.
Nevada Smith, Indiana Jones.
He wasn't in Indiana Jones.
You're missing the point entirely.
No,
What's his first name?
Nevada.
What's that, a state?
Well, it depends.
What's Indiana? Is that a state?
It's a dog.
What's Smith, one of the most popular names in America?
Indiana
What's
was
Jones?
actually the name of the dog.
Yeah, I'm still missing the point.
Okay,
I can't guide it any
And then we
further.
got Mississippi, we got Colorado, blah blah blah.
I always wondered if that's where George Lucas got the name Indiana Jones. Nevada Smith, Indiana Jones.
It was based on like old serials, like those ones that you go to the movie theater and watch. So I mean, I haven't seen any of those, so I'm not sure.
Me neither. I always just curious. Nevada Smith sounds suspiciously like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, what's the name of the guy that wrote the book Nevada Smith? He also wrote the Carpetbaggers.
Harold Robbins?
I believe so. And the Carpetbaggers is a continuation of Nevada Smith, but it was not with Steve McQueen, it was with George Peppard.
Yeah, it was Harold Robbins. I did not realize that. That's amazing.
Those are two really good movies. Another great movie that McQueen was in was The Magnificent Seven, which we talked about a lot. The TV series he did, Wanted Dead or Alive.
Okay, so we're going to end the show with a shocker. I still haven't seen Great Escape.
Oh.
Steve McQueen.
Oh,
Okay.
I feel better.
Sorry.
I'm going to beat you guys.
I thought
It's a good thing you can run faster than me.
Which one was Great Escape? Wasn't that's not the one with Clint Eastwood where he escapes Alcatraz?
No.
No, that was Escape from Alcatraz, yeah.
Oh, that would explain it.
The Great Escape is about World War II, about Allied soldiers, mainly British and some Americans, who escaped from a Stalag, a German Stalag.
And look at that cast.
Richard Attenborough. I'm gonna watch that now.
Donald Pleasance, James Coburn. I love James Coburn. David McCallum was in that. Yeah.
It was a great cast.
I keep hearing about how great it is. I have a factory sealed DVD copy at home that I've never even opened. And
find another one.
no, I'm going to open it. I didn't buy them to save them. I bought them to watch them.
I was going to say I might have a copy of it.
Okay. In your current recovering condition, you're going to go through that warehouse and find that movie.
Did you ever see the movie?
Yeah, it's a good thing you changed the subject.
Did you ever see the TV series Warehouse 13?
No, but you did mention a couple weeks ago that is your storage unit.
Okay, did you ever remember in the closing scenes of Indiana Jones?
Of course.
Where they're putting the Ark
The
of
Ark
the
away?
Covenant
Uh-huh.
in that vast warehouse. Well, there you go.
It's pretty much it. But there's more paint cans and mustard than there was at the Indiana Jones
Oh,
one.
I love mustard. Another good Steve McQueen movie, Tom Horn, which I think may have been one of his last.
I think it was one of his last ones.
Western.
He came to the Esplanade Theater that night to see the premiere, the Oxnard premiere, because he lived in Ojai,
Santa Paula.
Santa Paula. Oh, okay. And he came, and it was a big deal because we weren't supposed to tell anybody that he was coming because they didn't want a madhouse. And then the movie started and he wasn't there, and we were just like, yeah. And then at 8:10 he walked in, and all these cameras start flashing. The friggin' company had called the paparazzi, told us to keep our mouths shut, but they told the paparazzi was there. But you know what? He moved so fast, and this is before the days of, I don't know. Actually, they had really good cameras then too. Nobody could get a clear picture of him. Every picture you see of him walking through that lobby was blurred because he was probably just wanting to get to the damn seat. And we even saved 2 seats at the back for him. But I didn't see him. I wasn't there that night. I just saw the blurred pictures later.
That screening you and I went to go see of Mel Gibson's When We Were Soldiers.
Yes.
I read something yesterday. I may have reposted it on Facebook. I can't remember. Mel Gibson had found out about one of the real guys that was at that battle. He was a sergeant, and he was in the hospital in Texas, and he was dying. And without telling anybody, he flew to Texas. I think it was in Texas. He wanted to go visit this guy whose character was actually in the movie. Mm-hmm. And
it's called research. You do want to do that research.
Well, no, this was after the movie.
Then he realized how much he got wrong. No, hey, go ahead.
Anyway, he walked in. He told his people, no photographers, no news, no media. I don't want cameras, no lights. It's just me going to visit this guy. And when he walked into the hospital, the nurses and the doctors, and he didn't say a word. He walked straight to the guy's room, went in, and they had a nice long conversation about life. And
how would you know that if there were no cameras there?
Because it was in the article. It's a good thing this is Irish whiskey.
Yeah, do you want to waste that?
And I haven't opened it.
Those were gifts from Amber Kloss, who's a influencer and a friend of ours. She's Mark's partner, Mark Gottlieb, that I told you I had lunch with on Saturday. Mm-hmm. He's going to do the show with us one day. He wants me to send him a link, and he'll come in and he'll do the show so we can talk to Mark about his filmmaking and what he likes, because he's a big horror fan as well. He watches Suspiria, I think, twice a year. The original one, yeah. Have you seen that?
I've not seen the original one, but I've seen the remake.
I need to see the original one again, and I've watched it twice already. I still don't understand it.
Yeah, that French horror stuff
got weird.
It's a little weird for me. I haven't quite gotten into it.
Anyway, if I can find that article, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'd like to read
it's
that.
Interesting reading, and I've been finding a lot of stuff that people have posted. Not people, but
robots.
Probably about how this actor did this and that actor did that, and it's quite amazing. And then also you find out,
the studios write those stories for publicity, right?
No, probably.
Yeah.
But you find out about a lot of the actors that in the 40s and the 50s, how many of them served in the military, especially World War II. Do you know Clint Eastwood was in the Navy? He was a lifeguard. He almost died when the plane that he was riding in went to the drain.
I didn't know any of this. It's interesting.
And then Clark Gable was on a bomber. And you know about Jimmy Stewart, because he flew B-25s and B-17.
James Doohan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're not going to continue the list.
He lost a finger.
Yes. But.
And that's not a spoiler alert either.
I met him, and I don't remember seeing that. I remember one being short, it maybe as part of a finger, which is enough, by the way. My brother got his fingertips cut off, and that's enough. That was brutal. But I don't remember that. James Doohan was a very nice guy. All right, so
when you watch episodes of Star Trek, he is very carefully concealed that hand.
Well, like Gary Berghoff from MASH. He had a seriously deformed hand, but you never saw it because he was a master at hiding it on camera.
But what I like about a lot of the movies that we've talked about, not just today, but in the past, a lot of them are actually based on books. Like we were talking about Nevada Smith.
I thought we were going to get away with it.
And did you know that our very own R. Scott Bolton is an author? If you go to Amazon.com and you type in R. Scott Bolton, that's Bolton, author, it's going to pull up a plethora
Whatever that is.
of Scotty's books. The most recent that's available is Bowling Bag of the Backseat. And as always, my favorite is Dead Dick. Don't read anything into that title. It's about a 1940s private detective.
Plethora is apparently a steaming pile of crap. So thanks for that, John.
Oh,
No, it doesn't say that.
oh. This is a large or excessive amount of something.
What's the actual word? Plethora.
That too.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the next one that's going to be coming out, hopefully it's going to hit the shelves at Amazon.com, is
November, second shot, the new Brace Heller novel, because even though I like writing other things, everybody wants the Brace Heller novel. So
oh, they're good.
I do what you say. Your wish is my command.
There you go. And speaking of that,
Oh,
you said
dear God,
November.
man.
You said November, the novel writing month. Have you got something?
No, because I do have something in mind. It's called Mama Bear. And there is no more National Novel Writing Month. They lost their funding. They got canceled. It doesn't exist anymore, but I'm still going to do it on my own. So it was always it's the driving force that got me to write a book a year was that. And so I'm going to try to keep recognizing that. I was offered the opportunity, let me say it this way, to pursue the possibility of me taking it over. I don't want to do that. I want to write. I don't want to, support a nonprofit organization. I don't even know if that could have happened, but there were in interior talks. Let's just leave that. Nobody with Novel Not Writing Month knew anything about this. It was something we were discussing. But
well, anyway, go to R. Scott Bolton and Amazon.com. Look up all the books that he has written that's available. Some are downloads, some are paperback, and there's a few that are hardback. And with Amazon Prime, you get free delivery. And the great birthday gifts. Christmas is, well, there's a lot of people who are already selling Christmas stuff.
Dude, I saw Halloween candies out now. I'm like, it's not even July's not even half over, and they got Halloween candy.
Speaking of Halloween, you got Neath, which is a ghost story.
That's true. Yeah.
It's very good.
Which is by R. Scott Bolton. And support R. Scott Bolton books. You won't be sorry. Amazon.com.
And if you are sorry, I'm sorry. There's nothing
And
about
hey,
it.
I'll tell you what, you get a hard copy of this, whether it's a hardback or paperback, I guarantee you show up here at the studio, Scotty will autograph it.
I'll meet you somewhere to sign it. At McDonald's or something. It didn't matter.
He'll pay you $1.25. I mean, wait.
Okay, let's not get too carried away. $1 maybe, but
Okay, no. Nutty Buddy.
yes. So next week I'm going to try to see Eddington this week. I want to see that. It sounds pretty interesting. That's Joaquin Phoenix, Deidre O'Connell, Emma Stone, Michael Ward, and Nick Offerman. I don't know why he's not even listed here. It's kind of insulting. Yeah, why are their names not there? That's interesting, isn't it?
And
It's an
Austin
8.
Butler is in that too.
Wow.
I mean, well, I'm not going to question them. That's a great cast. I'll just leave it at that. And I'm looking forward to that. Then next week, we have opening up on the 25th, is it? Sherry and Lamb Chop, which is a documentary about Sherry and Lamb Chop. That's Kino Lorber. So they're going to open that in theaters. I didn't know Kino Lorber did theatrical. Shoshana, which is a action drama history romance thriller. Wow. Fantastic Four, of course, is the big one with First Steps. You looking forward to that, Jeff, at all?
I'm curious to see what they do.
Yeah, I kind of like the period thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
I like the title of the next one.
Bambi the Reckoning, which is a horror thriller that happens when you lose your copyright on something. But there's a tight line you got to walk if you're making those movies. You can't just go out and do it. There's a really tight line on there. House of Eden, which is a horror film. Have you heard about that at all?
Nope.
Me neither. AJ Goes to the Dog Park and Monk in Pieces.
It's not
Not this monk, but another monk. So So we have plenty to watch in coming weeks there. I will go to the theater and see Fantastic Four for sure. Again, I want to try to see Eddington this week if I can. So we'll have stuff
Is
to talk about next week.
Eddington a new release, or is that?
It's new.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he did westerns.
It-
Phoenix did westerns.
It's the guy.
It's the first time for everything.
The guy who did Hereditary and Midsummer.
Oh, now wait a minute. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting. And there's no supernatural in this, right?
I don't know.
It says comedy, drama, western. So
I didn't see his last one that came out a year or two ago that was called like Beau is Afraid. That
Yeah.
was Joaquin Phoenix, and I'm not a big Joaquin Phoenix fan.
I'm with you on that, by the way.
I got to tell you, what was that movie he did with Mel Gibson?
Signs.
Yeah,
The M. Night Shyamalan movie.
that movie is what made me like Joaquin Phoenix. His portrayal of that character is just, I really liked it.
He's one of those all-in actors. And he takes a role, he goes all in on it. And
Like a method actor.
yeah.
I just don't like him as a person.
Yeah, there's many people like that you can still admire their performance or what have you,
Yeah.
but at the same time saying, yeah, you're kind of the
Yeah.
Mel Gibson's one, isn't it? You know, I used to.
That's how I feel about Robert De Niro. I will not take anything away from his acting. He is one of our premier great actors, and I will go see his movies simply because I do like his acting.
Yeah, he's terrific. Beau is Afraid is 3 hours long too. That's kind of a hard thing to get through.
Yeah, and while I do like Hereditary, I feel like what's his name? Ari Aster, right?
We can find out.
He's very he's
Oh, we
like I
can't
was
find
talking
out.
about the other a few weeks ago, where the artsy horror films.
Yeah.
That just makes you think a little too much. That's his kind of thing, where it's just art film more so than horror, I think, and it's hard to get behind him as a director as well. So those are the two things.
His movies
Joaquin
are,
Phoenix and Ari Aster that are kind of like, oh, maybe I don't want to see the movie,
yeah.
but the rest of the cast, I kind of want to. I'm kind of interested to see it. So.
I'm intrigued, especially now, because I'm with you. His movies are a little bit Somerset, was that? What was it?
Midsummer.
Midsummer was bizarre.
Yeah.
And it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It disturbed you. And I don't necessarily go to a horror movie to be disturbed. I want to be scared and horrified and laugh at the bloody stuff, because it's always like The Monkey. Monkey is not a great movie. Did I love it? Every second of it. So it's just the way it goes.
Where is Midsummer? Where does it take place?
Like Switzerland.
I think so. Yeah. It's a little village that's out in the middle of
So
nowhere.
it's
Not even
not-
a village, a camp really, right?
Yeah.
It's not to be confused with the long-running British TV series Midsummer Murders, which I highly recommend.
No, it's the exact same thing.
Because it's like not midsummer, it's midsummer
Right.
or something like that. It's like
It's the name of the
They
place,
spell
right?
it S-O.
something like that.
They spell it S-O, not S-U.
Correct.
Yes.
And that's how this British TV show,
Really?
Midsummer
Uh,
Murders, and it's about this area. There's different hamlets, but it's summer.
Hamlet. That's a good word.
And Hamburger Hamlet, that was a good place. Different murders, but you have the same investigating constables and PCs and DCIs. And it's really, really good TV series.
And you're watching that on Amazon?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can probably find it's on Freevee. I don't know if it's on Netflix. I can't remember if I originally started watching that on Netflix or not. But they're like 23 or 24 seasons in now.
Wow.
But you got to remember, a lot of British TV series, they'll do 6 episodes, but each episode is 90 to 120.
Yeah, it's like a little movie.
Yeah. And then some of them, you got part 1, part 2. Midsummer Murders is one long entire episode.
Well, like I said, I plan on trying to see Eddington this week. I also promised you guys that I would see Prey, which I still haven't seen, and I really got to see Prey because everybody tells me it's just awesome.
Is Prey
So-
the one that takes place in the past?
Yes.
Okay. And then the new one is the one that they're on a different planet.
It's animated, and they're on it's a whole bunch of things. It's many stories.
Well, no, the one that I keep seeing when we go to the previews.
Oh, that's the one that's coming out later this year.
Yeah.
That does take place in the future.
Okay.
But the animated one is that Netflix right now? Or is that on Hulu? Yeah, Hulu. And everybody's very happy with it. They all love it because of it.
That alien looks totally different from what we're used to seeing.
The Predator, you mean?
Yeah, the Predator.
Yeah.
He's a younger Predator.
Yeah. Or maybe he's a Predator that is the offspring of a human and a Predator.
Ew!
I
I heard that echo too. That was a good one.
But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there to see. Definitely want to see Fantastic Four because we've had, is it 3 Fantastic Four movies
Yes.
before this one?
Yes.
If it's not more than that, right? Because there was some TV crap they made too.
No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But I know McMahon.
Vince McMahon,
No, not the wrestler.
Ed McMahon.
No, not the Budweiser guy.
Oh, that's right.
The guy that was in Nip Tuck.
Yes.
He was one of the doctors in Nip Tuck. He also played a demon in the original Charmed. And he was also in FBI Most Wanted.
What are you, his resume?
What?
What are you, his resume?
Well, no, because I don't have anything in front of me.
Oh.
I can't read it off my phone because I'm looking at.
Okay. Is this leading to something? Anything?
Yes.
For the love of God.
He was like 54, I think, and he passed away.
I saw that. That was very sad.
But what I'm getting at, in those first 2 or 3 Fantastic Four movies, he played Dr. Doom.
Okay.
Who's playing? Is Dr. Doom in the new one?
Yes.
I don't know.
And that I believe that's going to be Iron Man.
Yes.
Well, not Iron Man, but
Robert Downey Jr. I was going to make a joke about who it was, but now that you've mentioned that, now I'm really intrigued to see what they do with this, especially since we know that from Thunderbolts, that the spaceship's on its way to Earth. So in modern times, right? Because Thunderbolts was today, right? Current time.
Yeah.
and they changed the sex of Silver Surfer.
Sorta. There was a female Silver Surfer.
I don't remember a female in the previous one. I remember the male Silver Surfer.
There was also one in the comics, I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't well, I
That's
wasn't.
what I was reading.
I
Yeah.
don't remember seeing. I wasn't a big Silver Surfer comic guy. I mean, my comics basically mainly were World War II, like G.I. Joe, Combat, Captain Storm, Captain Storm is my favorite all-time World War II comic.
Sergeant Rock?
There's Sergeant Rock.
No, we're not starting another list.
You're UA.
I know, that's why I had to stop it.
Well,
Shala Bal was the Zen-Lavian royal heir and romantic partner of a brilliant scientist from the utopian planet of Zenla named Norris Rad, who became the herald of Galactus known as the Silver Surfer. So she was the female Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four. I don't know if that's a new one, but...
Does it say when her character in the comics came about?
No, because that's about the new movie. She has comic book history. So there she is. So she is apparently they're sticking to that character. And one last thing, if you guys have not seen Superman, please go see Superman.
Didn't we talk about that last week?
We did, and it's doing extremely well. And it makes me feel good that people are going to movies, and it makes me feel good that people are going to a movie like that deserves to be seen.
Because I was listening to Mo Kelly last night on KFI, and they were talking about it, and they started talking about how a lot of different movies are coming out with these collectible popcorn buckets.
Those are so much fun.
And they didn't mention the Superman one, but they said what it was. But they did mention you got to pick up the Superman popcorn bucket.
Have you seen the?
So cool! I was gonna get it, and it was gone.
Yeah, John was all fired up to get it after the movie, but they were all sold out. Did you see the popcorn bucket for the Naked Gun?
Yeah.
Hey, nice beaver. Thanks. I just had it shaved. All right, we'll leave you with that, folks.
It was stuffed. I thought she said it was stuffed.
Well, then it's shaved doesn't make any information. I may have combined two jokes and made it worse.
Yeah, it was in the original movie. I thought she said, I just have stuff.
I think you're right. So I made it worse.
And I tell you what, I love the trailer where they show all these current police officers in front of the pictures of their fathers.
Watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it is so funny.
But it is. John, we got here at breakfast. It's almost lunch. We got to go.
It could be worse. It could be
Well, ish.
dinner time.
All right, folks. Well, again, thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with hopefully reviews of Eddington. And I'm going to watch. I put aside a couple of DVDs of old movies. The James Stewart movie about Lindbergh. I put that aside. I'm going to watch that. And then it's just fun to sit back and watch those old movies, especially because modern movies are all 2.5 hours or more. And those movies are like 78 minutes sometimes. So that's
one of these shows that we do. I would like to do one about war movies, especially those that came out in the 40s.
You mentioned that last time, and not my favorite genre.
Well, I understand that, but some of the acting, the talent that were in a lot of those movies. I mean, there's a couple that Earl Flynn did with
Earl Flynn?
Earl Flynn. He played Robin Hood.
I mean Errol Flynn.
What did I say?
Earl Flynn. Maybe it's his brother. I don't know.
But Alan Hale Sr.
Yes.
And one of they were, I think they were B-17 crew members that get shot down, and it's how they escape. I love those movies.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk about that sometime. But again, and I think you said agreed, it's not really your favorite genre.
More movies in general. I'm trying.
Yeah. I guess there's a place for them, but we talked about real gritty war stories and propaganda movies, and that's another issue I got.
Steve McQueen did a few war movies.
Like Great Escape, maybe.
And
Jaws of Revenge.
Heroes.
Oh, that's true. All right, we're out of here for sure this time. I'm turning off your mic.
Go to your local theaters.
Oh, that's you can say that. That's okay.
Go to your local theaters.
Jeff, what's our
Especially
percentage
your local
on first run? Any time to work on that lately?
I got a little bored because there's not a whole lot going on. It's just cut here, overlap audio here. This week, I actually did have a lot of fun. There is a Western scene in the film, and I was watching a lot of Westerns, and I had to edit that scene this week.
Perfect.
It was such a nice break from the rest of the movie, and I had so much fun. I was laughing so hard at it. I think it's just a me thing. I don't know if people are going to laugh at it. I think people are going to be... I don't know.
I can't wait.
I had a lot of fun with it. I've been enjoying it. So
If you like comedy westerns, support your local sheriff, James Garner. I think they did like 2 or 3 of those. Fantastic. And I mentioned this one in the list, Cat Ballou, with Lee Marvin. God, it was so good.
The plumber.
He does a dual role.
I'm going to make it a weekly feature for you here. It's going to be the first run update until the day it's released. So brace yourself. And sometimes you can say, I didn't do anything, and I'll just end it right there. But I'm going to create that for next week's show. That's my plan, at least. All right, folks, we'll see you next week. Thank you for watching, and thanks for listening. And John's going to say something else. I can tell by the look in his face.
Y'all have a wonderful weekend.
That's okay.
there you go.
And
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.